Hi, good morning and welcome to my life. Don't forget to comment or to like or to share. Hi, can you hear me? Hi, can you hear me? Yeah, I'm okay. I am fine, thank you for joining my life. How are you too? How are you? Can you hear me? So today, okay. Today I just want to talk about something. I mean, this is another life, and you're welcome to Let's Talk with Ene. So if you're just joining, this is Let's Talk with Ene, a place where we talk a lot about productivity, consistency, self-esteem, building and becoming the best version of yourself. So if you're just joining this channel, please don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to comment, don't forget to like. If you have a question, please ask. If you have something to say, please say it, and be nice. So today, I just wanted to talk about something. Here we talk a lot about consistency, about productivity. Thank you so much for joining me from Russia, from India. Thank you so much. Everywhere. Thank you very much. I appreciate it a lot, and I'm really grateful. So today, I wanted to talk about habits of highly effective people. Here I talk a lot about consistency. I talk a lot about productivity. What makes you productive? How you need to be more productive. And today, I want to talk about the habits of highly effective people. What they do that makes them more productive. What to do that makes them efficient. What do they do differently? And how is it helping them become more productive? What are they doing exactly? What are those things they are doing that you and I can mirror from them? Of course, I'm one of the highly effective people. So, what are those things that we do that helps us to stay productive? That helps us to do things when we're supposed to do it, that helps us to get results. These are habits that you can actually mirror, that you can maybe not copy, but try to create something that works for you. I would always say that when it comes to being productive, when it comes to achieving anything, it's always better to do what works for you. What works for A may not work for B, but of course you can borrow some things from A and transform it into something that works for you. Now, generally, highly effective people wake up very early in the morning. They wake up not really very early, but they wake up before the noise. If there was anything that I discovered, and I've said it before, when I moved from waking up in the late to waking up in the morning, earlier in the morning, my productivity went from, let me say, 10% to 100% or even more. I became more productive. I became more efficient. I started seeing more results. This is not just some maybe repetitive generic information or theory. This is real. Now, I'm currently, I usually used to come early before everybody, before the noise. And one of the things I noticed that I didn't have to struggle anymore with time. I was getting more results. I was able to do so much. You know, that early hours of the morning, when there's no noise, it's easier to think properly. You're able to do more. You're able to be more productive. For me, I come to the lab before everybody. And when I come to the lab before everybody, when people are coming to the lab later, I'm done with every experiment I have to do. I don't have to keep like maybe being in the queue to use a particular equipment, or having to wait, or being disturbed and distracted by somebody else. I'm able to finish up my experiment before every other person, and I'm able to do other things. So you see that before noon and 1, I'm done with everything I'm supposed to do. So I can use that time to do other things that are not related to what I'm supposed to do. So, and it was also making me to finish up things on time. I started meeting up deadlines earlier. I was no longer overwhelmed with work. I was able to do things at the time I'm supposed to do. And also, I was no longer tired. I was more efficient. So this is not theory. This is practical experience. This is what has worked for me consistently, like waking up every day. It makes me to, I don't know how to explain it, but there's this frequency of speed you feel when it's in the morning. Even inspirations come at very high frequency in the morning. You see yourself thinking so fast. You see ideas pouring in. You see yourself doing things the way you would not do. You see yourself you are very strong. You are so energized that morning. Before the noise, before people start coming, before people start distracting you. So for me, morning is one of the things that have made me very productive. I no longer have to be running around, because I figured that the times where I used to wake up maybe by 11, 12, for instance, now what I do is task based. So it doesn't matter whether you do it in the morning or in the night. So that's why I can wake up that late. But I discovered that once I wake up that late, before I take a shower, prepare, take breakfast, before I know, it's already late. I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I've lost the vibe, the energy. But usually, usually it's not really, it doesn't bring any, there were no results. But when I switched from that moment to start waking up in the morning, I discovered this very wide gap of productivity. I wake up every day feeling very optimistic, enough energy to want to do so much. I want to achieve so much. But for you, waking up early may not work. It may not work for you, but you can do it in such a way that if you cannot wake up very early, you can start waking up earlier than before. Or you can see what works for you. For some people, they work all night till morning and sleep in the morning. It works for them. Me, there was a time I used to do that, but I get overwhelmed during the day and I cannot show up during the day. Another thing is learning to say no to people. Highly effective people, they've mastered the art of saying no without feeling guilty. So you need to come to the point where you are able to say no. See, before, I used to be this person who say yes, even when it's not convenient. I don't want you to feel bad. I wanted to please people. I wanted to make sure that I was there for everybody, but I realize I can't save the world. I can't save everybody. I can't help everybody. Saying yes to everybody was getting me overwhelmed. It was making me not to be productive. I was not able to do so much because I was saying yes to everybody. Somebody asked me to do something. It's not convenient. I say yes because I don't want to make them feel bad. Someone asked me to do this. I say yes. Someone say let's go here. I say yes. And what that was doing to me, I was becoming overwhelmed. I was not able to create time for myself to do the things that has to do with me. And do you know what? Even at that, I was still unable to please people. They were still not happy. So even saying yes to people does not mean they are going to be happy. Highly effective people they are not people pleaser. I'm not saying they become selfish, but they come to a point where they put themselves as a priority. And they put things like, you are becoming overwhelmed, you are getting unproductive because you are trying to say yes, you are saying yes to everybody. You don't know how to say no. If you want to be more productive, you need to learn to say no. You don't need to accept everything. Oh, someone say, help me do this, you say yes. And one thing I realize about pleasing people, you can't please people. You can only do your best. Even the person you are willing to sacrifice yourself for will still not appreciate you, will still feel you've not done enough. Even if you cut yourself for the person, they will still feel it's not enough. So why will you now be doing things at your own detriment? You are overwhelmed, you are unproductive, you are not able to do so much because you are saying yes to everybody. So why some persons are effective than the others and more productive? They've mastered the art of saying no without feeling guilty. And another thing is that they do things, they focus on consistency over perfection. Better is done than perfection. They focus on showing up every day. They focus on being consistent. They focus on taking it one step at a time. They don't focus on perfection. Maybe one of the reasons you are not productive, one of the reasons you are not doing things you should do or show up the way you should show up is because you are so focused on perfection. You've not been able to show up. You've not been able to start that project. You've not been able to do that thing because you want to start it perfect. You want to start it with every plan so perfect. Don't get me wrong. It's good to have things done properly. It's good to have things done in a very nice way. But sometimes, in a bid to do things perfect, we end up not showing up. We end up not being productive. We end up not doing anything. We end up losing our vibes, losing our vision, losing ourselves in the process. We need to begin to focus on consistency, not perfection. You need to focus on showing up. You need to focus on showing up. You need to focus on start it messy. Start it when you've not even figured it out. Start it even when you don't know what it is yet. Don't wait for it to be perfect. Don't wait for it to be perfect. Also, getting things done when you should. Procrastination is one of the reasons people are not moving forward. And one thing that highly effective people have learned to do is to do things at the moment. You are supposed to do things now. You don't shift it to tomorrow. You do it right now instead of tomorrow, instead of next 1 hour. You do things when you are supposed to do that. I discovered that if I don't do things at the moment, it becomes hard to do it. So whenever I'm supposed to do something, I do it right then. If I'm supposed to send an email, instead of saying, oh, I will send it later, I send it that moment. If I'm supposed to fill a form, instead of saying, I'll fill it later, I fill it now. Even if I don't have the time, I'll create the time right at the moment. Because I discovered that when you shift things to another time, you end up keep shifting it. And that's how procrastination becomes a lifestyle. Always shifting things instead of doing it right now. Sometimes you say, oh, I don't have time to do it. But you end up seeing that you should have done it. You could have done it. You had the time to do it. And you discover that you may never even have time to do it again. Doing things at that moment, not shifting things. Doing things when you should do. Another thing they do is that they start small. They don't try to do so many things at the same time. For some of us, one of the reasons we are unproductive and not doing so much is because we are trying to do so much at the same time. Only you want to do like 5, 10 at the same time. You are trying to do this, do that, do that. And because of that, you are overwhelmed, you are stressed, and it's making you very unproductive. It's time to begin to do things when you are supposed to do them. Like, do them little by little. Not so much. Set goals that are achievable, not goals that are overwhelming. Why are you setting ambiguous goals? Why are you setting 20 goals when you've not been able to achieve 2? Instead of starting, some of us want to go big or go home, we end up going home. Why not start small? Why not start with keeping it at something little? Start small. Like focusing on how many goals per time. And making sure that every day you do that. Like 3 goals at a time. Like every day I want to do these 3 things before the end of today. I want to be able to do just 3 things. And one of my own perspective when it comes to goals is that if you are not going to put side by side how you want to achieve those goals, it's better not to set them. So for me, each time I want to set a goal, I make sure I put a how and a when. Each time you set goals, how do you want to achieve them? When do you want to achieve them? You put strategies, the how and the when, your action plans. I'm going to do this every day in order to achieve this. I'm going to do that every day in order to achieve that. I'm going to do this today in order to do this. Every single day, this is what I will do. So don't just set goals, because people will say set goals. But how do you want to achieve them? When? What strategies do you want to use to make them become a reality? You need to put that in mind. Also, one of the things that would help you be more productive, and one of the things that highly effective people do, they use the peak of their peak energy period. Have you noticed that there's this period where you feel this burst of energy? You are very, it comes from time to time. You are very optimistic. You feel like conquering the world. You have so much energy at that time. You have so much strength. Everyone feels it, right? Utilize that period. That period you are very productive. That period you can do 20 things at the same time. Instead of just letting it go. Those are my best periods. Whenever that period comes, oh my God, I try to use it so much. I do so many things because I know it doesn't always come. So whenever I feel this burst of energy, whenever I feel like this period where I feel like I can do so much, I'm very optimistic, there's this energy that I cannot explain where it's coming from, I make sure I do as many things as I can at that time, because I know I'll probably not always feel like this. So I need to utilize this period instead of allowing it to go to waste. Those peak energy period, those periods where you feel very energized, you feel very optimistic, you are strengthened, you have these vibes that you can't explain. Me, I usually wait for those periods. Once it comes, I do so much. I do like every single thing. Like this, like now, I'm feeling like that. So you would see today I'm going to achieve a lot because this is like my energy, my peak energy period. So I'm going to do so much. I'm going to make sure I achieve so much. Because there are times I may come, there are times that may come and um, I may feel like, I may feel tired, bored, and not interested in doing anything. And see, create a system. These people create system that helps them stay productive. They even automate their life. Like, there are a lot of things you can use that helps you. Create a system that helps you stay productive. That helps you show up even when you don't feel like showing up. Excuse me. So, we've been talking about habits of highly effective people that we can borrow and learn from in order for us to be more productive than we are. Also, evaluating. There's one of the things I do a lot. I discovered that whenever I evaluate my life, evaluate my goals, evaluate things that I'm supposed to do. You know, this today, I was kind of like chastising myself and scolding myself, like, oh, Esther, you've not tried. You have so many messages you've not replied. You have tasks you've not done. You need to. Do you think you've done well? No, you haven't. You need to do better. So this is me evaluating myself. And evaluating myself helps me to see the gaps. Help me to see what is working and what is not working. What I need to improve on, what I need to do better. I've been able to realize what I'm not doing better. And realizing what has not worked and what I need to refrain from. So, this also helps me evaluating. You'll be able to figure out what is not working, what was working, and what you can do better. Also, the people you surround yourself with. See, highly effective people surround themselves with people that think like them, people that are goal-oriented, focus-oriented. It helps them to be more productive. You know, I have friends that each time I have conversations with them, I feel like my life has not started. I feel like I have a lot to do. I feel like I need to be more productive. Not like they put me under pressure, but they inspire me to want to do more. They help me to stay consistent. They help me to stay motivated. They keep me accountable. So these are actually things that are possible. These are things that I've been able to do over time. Waking up early is possible. Setting goals is possible. Not just goals, but achievable ones that has a strategy, a how and a when. Learning to say no to people. Doing things when you are supposed to do, not shifting things. Focusing on progress, not perfection. Focusing on consistency and not perfection. Using my peak energy period. Realizing that there are periods where I feel so much burst of energy, where I feel like I can do a lot of things. Killing that procrastination. Setting goals that are easy to achieve. Surrounding myself with people that think like me. These are things that can actually help you to be more productive. There are things that when you take it one step at a time, you would realize that in a very short period of time, you'll be more productive than the other. More productive than you used to be. But the truth is that no matter how anybody tries to speak to you, no matter how anybody tries to motivate you or say words to you, in the end, it's your call. It's up to you to decide to. The day I decided to start waking up early, nobody told me. I felt like I tried it out and I saw that it boosted my productivity. The time when I decided to put myself as a priority and stop saying yes to everybody, I saw the results. I discovered I was being overwhelmed and doing so many things at the same time. It was time for me to cut off such. When I started surrounding myself with the people that inspire me and helps me become better, I noticed a very noticeable, a very significant difference in my life. So these are not just talks. These are practical things that can help you. You will see the result and say it's not just talks. You would see the results. So I hope you've been able to learn one or two from this. And I'll see you on my next live. Please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to like. And don't forget to watch my other videos. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you on my next live. Thank you.